Hey, I'm gonna play a little bit of music, kind of get things going. I'm having a taco salad. I made a taco salad for breakfast because, well, I'll explain that later. I'm gonna play some music. Wait, I promise. It's gonna happen here in just a second.
Indigenous asteroids weaving you the void, drought in your brain, making you insane. Rapping up Benjamin Fulford, living the absurd like a blue avian nerd, keeping the lines blurred. Captain Mark Richards, a secret space program drifter, getting married while in prison, making you listen, create a new religion, doing the reptilian, making you forget my sins. Super soldier talks in prison, Nordic and Draco, shape shifting in my Winnebago. Indigenous instincts weaving you the void, drought in your brain, making you insane. Rapping the Benjamin forward, living the absurd like a blue aviator, keeping the lines living like Benjamin forward, living the absurd like a blue aviator, keeping the lines blurred. Rapping like Benjamin Fulford. Word. Indigenous insectoid.
Hey, you guys. Welcome. I see one person's like logged on now. Welcome to Not My Rabbit Hole. It's impromptu live stream. I was watching David Shurter earlier, and I'm showing you that I put in some prompts in ChatGPT because the last couple of days he's been going on about this. Gabe Hoffman wrote an article about him years ago, but he just found out, and he's put it on his blog and everything. And there's a couple of things that happened during David Shurter's live stream today that I'd like to point out. I will get to that in a second. But as you can see, I've done a deep search. So far, ChatGPT has pulled up 11 sources. And I'm looking for, anything written or commented via blog, posts, news articles, social media about David Shurter, including any discussions, disputes, collaborations, or public commentary. And so what ChatGPT is doing right now is it is doing a deep search and scraping anything that's on the internet that would pertain to the question that I'm asking. So I'm going to play a little bit more music while it's getting ready, and I'm going to continue to eat my taco salad at 10:30 in the morning. But it's really hot here in Fresno, and so I wanted to cook a taco salad because I like taco salads. I figure, it's probably a little bit more nutritious because it's got the lettuce and then, the protein and everything like that, but no bread. Although I did like crunch up some chips, some tortilla chips in it, because it's a recipe that my mom used to make. And our air conditioner went out here. They're replacing another one. Like last night, they put one in the window, like a small little one in the window. So I thought, well, if I cooked in the morning, it would be cooler, because when your house is hot, you really don't feel like cooking. Although I had this awesome recipe for cucumbers and red onions and yogurt and some chili powder and lime. And it's just absolutely just delicious, low calorie, and super filling. So, that's also an option. But I wanted a taco salad today, so I'm having it for breakfast. What are you having for breakfast? Did you have breakfast? What time is it where you're at? Please tell me in the chat if you want to, or, not. Okay, so a little more music.
It's weaving you the void, drowning your brain, making you insane. Wrapping the Benjamin Fulford, living the absurd like a blue avian nerd, keeping the lines blurred. Captain Mark Richards, a secret space program grifter, getting married while in prison, making you listen. Create a new religion, doing the reptilian, making you forget my sense. Super soldier talks in prison. Nordic and Draco, shape-shifting in my Winnebago, wrapping the Benjamin full.
Hold on. There's an issue. There's actually an issue with it. Hold on, let me see if I can get the search going. I don't know why it stopped. Let me put it on the music. It keeps some links though. Here, hold on.
Extraterrestrial hybridized DNA. Don't need to worry about tooth decay. Kevin Spacey and his clone are feeling alone. Men who stare at goats. The Thrill Society road. Super Soldier Sunday, just another fun day. 75 years on Mars, lying about the stars. Captain Richard charms like Charles Manson's gun. Liars in the sun. Liars in the sun. Monsters in the sun. Montauk, super soldier talk, super space program. Let's jam. Montauk, super soldier talk, super space program. Let's jam.
All right. Okay, I found it, and it redid it again. So, oh yeah, it looks like nothing has been said. All right, I'm gonna share the screen on the Okay, so I did a ChatGPT search and a deep search. All right, I'm gonna give you the thread of how it started here. First I put in, did Gabe Hoffman ever write anything about David Shurter? That would be a blog post, a news article, or a social media post. Then ChatGPT came back and said, could you please clarify what kind of information you're hoping to find about Gabe Hoffman and David Shurter? For example, are you looking for any mention of all or only significant discussions such as disputes, collaborations, or commentary? Also, is there a specific time frame you're interested in? And by the way, let me just say that this is a deep search on ChatGPT. You can do a regular search, but the deep search really, takes some time and surveils the internet to see what it finds to give you the information that you're looking for, right? So you might have to wait a while. And anyway, I am looking for discussions, disputes, collaborations, blog entries, and commentary. That's my response back. It says, thanks for the clarification. I'll look into whether Gabe Hoffman has written or commented via blog posts, news articles, or social media about David Shurter, including any discussions, disputes, collaborations, or public commentary. I'll let you know once I have a full picture, right? And then it crashed. But it said it went through 14 sources, completed research, 14 sources, 76 searches. Can you start the research again? Then when I did that, it said, it appears there's no record of Gabe Hoffman authoring any blog posts, news articles, or social media content that mention David Shurter. However, David Shurter himself has made several public references to Hoffman. Here's what I found. Mentions by David Shurter, mentions by David Shurter about Gabe Hoffman. Blog posts on davidshurter.com, July 1st, 2025, and June 30th, 2025. So this is very recent, right? Because today is July 2nd. So in the last couple days, David Shurter has been running on this Gabe Hoffman narrative where he is the victim of Gabe Hoffman. Therefore, he can include Gabe Hoffman in all of his accusations of all of us, and I'm going to include myself, that he is calling terrible, saying that we're doing terrible crimes that involve children. Okay? So, let me continue. Blog post on davidshurter.com, July 1st, which is yesterday, and June 30th, which is the day before yesterday. Shurter repeatedly tags Gabe Hoffman in his posts, often in the content of public threats and accusations tied to a broader group associated with Michael Aquino, Lucian Greaves, and the Satanic Temple, and others. And here's a couple links. So we're going to click on that here in a second. In July 1st post titled Thomas Schoenberger and Lucian Greaves threatening me with Gabe Hoffman, Shurter says, Gabe Hoffman, I've believed for a long time, has been working hand in hand with Michael Aquino. So my question is, why does a big man like Gabe Hoffman even care what I think or have to say? And he has. And it's interesting that ChatGPT capitalizes it, like all the letters, like has. And here's the thing here. So we're going to go to here. Earlier, June 30th, he again tagged Hoffman in a post describing what he called hoax. Oh, Hoax Wars is showing up. Hoax War, PEDOPHILES, and I'm not wanting to say the word because my channel is monetized. Collaborating against him. Okay, here, and there's the link here, right? YouTube reference via davidshurter.com. One of Shurter's live video is titled, Why Would a Hollywood Producer like Gabe Hoffman care about what a nobody like me says? And he's pointing to a confrontation or challenge hurled at Hoffman. Okay, and then it says mentions of Gabe Hoffman in third-party social media. A thread reader summary for an open secret, a Twitter accounts that Isaac Cappy allegedly directed anti-Semitic attacks and violent threats at Gabe Hoffman. This includes a mention of David Shurter's involvement. Interesting. We'll click onto that. Okay. And then it says, summary and takeaway. No content authored by Gabe Hoffman, such as blog posts, articles, or social media, has been found that mentions David Shurter. The only mentions involving both individuals are by David Shurter himself, typically in accusatory blog posts and live videos. There's no evidence of public discourse. There's no evidence of public discourse or mutual exchange, meaning that Gabe Hoffman has not responded to this, right? He's not said anything about this. Shurter talks about Hoffman, but Hoffman has not responded publicly or a text, not content that's readily indexed. Would you like to dig deeper into social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, or would you prefer I search beyond index pages, close forums, or podcasts? Let me know your next step. Oh my God, this is kind of fun, right? Okay, let's Okay, let's start with are there any could you do social media? Could you search social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn? Okay. And then, like, while that's searching, I think, oh my God, it's quick. I searched Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn for any posts for mentions by Gabe Hoffman regarding David Shurter, and here's what I found. No direct mentions by Gabe Hoffman or on social platforms. There are no public posts or comments found on Gabe Hoffman's Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn profiles that mention or discuss David Shurter. No visible activity or content aligns with your criteria for collaboration, discussion, or dispute. Indirect mentions in fringe and style forums, right? Okay, so wow. So you see that word, that's the 17th letter of the alphabet. So that popped up on ChatGPT, but I'm not going to say it on YouTube. However, I did find mentions of both figures in unofficial and conspiratorial threads, not from the mainstream social media. A 17th letter of the alphabet style forum post claims in 2015, Gabe Hoffman threatened to sue one of the victims for outing Hoffman. In mid-2017, David Shurter outed Craig Sawyer as a fraud. And here's a link to that right here. Oh. The post portrays Hoffman as having threatened a victim, suggesting legal action, and credits Shurter with outing Craig Sawyer, but neither involves direct interaction between Hoffman and Shurter, nor content authored by Hoffman about Shurter. So it looks like, and this is 2015, it looks like David Shurter has been talking about Gabe Hoffman and Craig Sawyer going all the way back in like midnight 2017. So we're at 2025 today. That's I think that's important to note, that David has been doing this much longer than just now. He's just added more people's names to the list, like myself. No evidence of Gabe Hoffman posting anything about David Shurter on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Mentions of both individuals appear only in unofficial conspiracy forum posts. Wow. Not in any known public social media discussions authored by Hoffman. So this is all fringe. This is all, and look what it's linked to. Look what David is doing is linked to. Just let that be for a second. No direct engagement between Hoffman and Shurter was found on mainstream platforms. Would you like to explore additional social sources like Twitter, X, TikTok, and private forums? Yes, please. Yes, please. Search Twitter, X, TikTok, and private forums. Who knew they could search private forums? Okay. Let me see. I'm wondering what you guys are saying over here. No one's saying anything. Wow. Quiet chat. It's a very quiet chat today. Interesting. Hello, David. Maybe you're watching. Who knows? Somebody say hi. Are you afraid to say hi? Are you afraid to be associated with me now? All right. My salad is good. I put a little cilantro in it too. It's delicious. Maybe I'll post the recipe to it, just in case anybody might want to make one for themselves. Taco salad breakfast. Okay. Twitter X and Thread Reader. Twitter/X. No post directly. Authored by Gabe Hoffman, mentioning David Shurter were found. Thread Reader repost from the account An Open Secret accounts Isaac Cappy's confrontation with Gabe Hoffman. It also includes David Shurter in that narrative, but again, it's not a post by Gabe Hoffman, but specifically. Cappy began using abusive anti-Semitic attacks against AOS and owner, producer Gabe Hoffman. But you know what's illogical about that is, why would Isaac Cappy, he's Jewish, right? So why would he do anti-Semitic remarks against another Jewish man? Like that just doesn't, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make sense. All right. TikTok. Searches return unrelated fitness videos, GimTalk content, and no links or collaborations involving both Gabe Hoffman and David Shurter. Private fringe forums. Again, mentions of both individuals show up only in conspiratorial threads. It's all conspiracy, guys. There were no posts by Gabe Hoffman. Some claim Gabe Hoffman threatened to sue, but it's anecdotal, unverified, and not connected to Shurter. No evidence that Gabe Hoffman has publicly authored anything on Twitter, X, TikTok, private forums, or mainstream social media about David Shurter. Mentions of both individuals appear only in third-party recounts. No direct content from Hoffman. No signs of collaboration, dispute, or commentary initiated by Hoffman regarding Shurter. Let me know if you like me to insert other platforms like Reddit, YouTube, and podcast audio interviews. Yes! Yes, I would! Let's do it! Okay. Would be weird if it sourced this podcast, this YouTube stream right now. Yes, please search Reddit, YouTube, and podcasts / audio. I love doing this. I do. I just really do. It's like information at your fingertips. Now, it's important to check the links. So we'll click on some links. Reddit. No posts or comments authored by Gabe Hoffman mentioning David Shurter were found on Reddit. The individuals appear only indirectly in conspiracy-style threads, but none involve content by Hoffman himself. YouTube. Oh my God. It's David Shurter's thing right here. His video. While I found YouTube videos by David Shurter that reference Gabe Hoffman, there are no videos from Hoffman addressing Shurter. I just want to make sure so let me just double check. Okay. Podcast audio. No podcasts or interviews featuring Gabe Hoffman mentioning David Shurter were located. I did come across general alt news conspiracy podcasts, the Opperman Report, Lift the Veil Archives. Lift the Veil and Opperman. Okay. Referencing figures like Isaac Cappy or Michael Aquino, but no audio content from Hoffman addressing Shurter. Overall conclusion. Across Reddit, YouTube, podcasts, and archive audios, Audio, there's no content authored by Gabe Hoffman that mentions David Shurter, either in blogs, posts, videos, interviews, or social media. The only references linking the two are made by David Shurter himself, often in accusatory context. Thus, there is no evidence of direct engagement, commentary, dispute, or collaboration initiated by Hoffman. Would you like me to explore any additional platforms, archival records, or court documents? Yes, let's do it. I would. Absolutely. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Please research archival records and court documents. Okay. Here we go. I looked through public records, archival repositories, and related databases for any legal filings, lawsuits, or historical records linking Gabe Hoffman and David Shurter, or indicating that Hoffman mentioning Shurter is in legal context, but found nothing. There are no lawsuits, court documents, complaints, or motions involving both names, nor any archival correspondence or filings where Hoffman addresses Shurter. Summary: no court or legal records showed Gabe Hoffman discussing, suing, or defending anything related to David Shurter. No archival materials like letters, memos, institutional records, or older documents contain content authored by Hoffman regarding Shurter. Final takeaway: across archival databases, legal records, court dockets, and historical documents, there is zero evidence of any formal interaction or content from Gabe Hoffman mentioning, referencing, or legally engaging with David Shurter. At this point, public web searches and deeper records both confirm that Gabe Hoffman has not produced any content online or in judicial venues that reference or involves David Shurter. Would you like to pivot and explore background into one of them, or investigate the nature of Shurter's mentions more deeply? I would like to the natures. I would like to investigate the nature of Shurter's mentions more deeply. Okay. Here's a deeper analysis of how David Shurter has referenced Gabe Hoffman based on the blog and video context. Core theme: why would Hoffman care what I say? On June 1st, 2025, Shurter published a post titled Thomas Schoenberger. I don't know why I want to leave it. I don't know why I want to laugh at this, because I guess I'm seeing these titles. Hold on, I need to get a drink of water here. Wait. Talk amongst yourselves. Well, I guess maybe you're not talking. You're all on your devices, but whatever. Go to your Discords. Or discourse, whatever. I'm joking. Oh, okay. Okay. One, core theme. Why would this is getting silly to me now. Why would Hoffman care what I say. Well, he doesn't care. According to ChatGPT, he doesn't care. Okay. Oh, no, matter of fact, no one cares but you. But then you're going to ask a donation for it. Okay. All right. Oh. On July 1st, 2025, Shurter published a post titled Thomas Schoenberger and Lucian Greaves, founder of the Satanic Temple, threatening me with Gabe Hoffman, claiming that Hoffman has long worked with Michael Aquino. He wonders why a big... I think I gotta put my glasses on or something. Okay, wait. He wonders why a big man like Hoffman would care about him, given that Shurter considers himself a nobody. Oh my god, that's classic. That's fucking, I'm sorry, that's classic. Oh, okay. Oh, in that same post, Shurter links a live stream titled David Shurter Live. Why would a Hollywood producer like Gabe Hoffman care what a nobody like me says? And shares a screenshot indicating that YouTube restricted or removed the live, suggesting pressure connected to Hoffman and his networks. Wow. Okay, let me read that one again. In that same post, Shurter links a live stream titled David Shurter Live. Why would a Hollywood producer like Gabe Hoffman care what a nobody like me says? Okay. Oh, okay. And shares a screenshot indicating that YouTube restricted or removed the live, suggesting pressure connected to Hoffman and his networks. And I think that's the best I'm going to be able to do that. 2. Specific accusations, ties, threats, and coordination. Shurter claims Hoffman works with Michael Aquino and says this coordination involves other figures tied to the Satanic Temple, Lucian Greaves, Thomas Schoenberger. He describes emails and threats purportedly from those involved, including threats using his association with Hoffman as leverage. He has no, according to anything in here, he has absolutely no leverage. Nothing, no association to Hoffman whatsoever, except for an article that apparently he was kind of like third party mentioned then about something else. And we're gonna look at that. Okay, but let me just finish here. 3 patterns and recurrence. June 30th, 2025, Shurter published Dealing with the Hoax. It's cracking me up. Hoax words in there. I don't know why. All right. Dealing with the hoax war, that word that I don't like saying that he's accusing all of us of, that starts with a P. And the campaign of lies against me, all capitalized. Again, tagging Gabe Hoffman alongside adversaries in the narrative. And this is from his blog. Multiple other posts, June and July, display his repeated use of Hoffman's name as part of a larger threat network connected to the satanic linked individuals. And then it says 4 points emerging. Tone. Accusatory, defensive, often framing Hoffman as part of a powerful conspiracy acting against him. Context. Shurter includes Hoffman in the network, Aquino, Greaves, Schoenberger, and others he accuses of harassment and threats. Thank God I'm not there yet. Like, it's all been contained as Schoenberger, Hoffman, and Lucian Greaves, and David Shurter. There's not, like a Goblin Dowd or, a Clown Waffen or a Not My Rabbit Hole, a Tere Joyce. And we're not here yet. All right. Maybe we are. I haven't finished reading. Okay. He cites emails, social media screenshots, YouTube removals, but offers no independent proof verifiable outside of his own archives. Oh my God, that is huge. Evidence. He cites emails, social media screenshots, YouTube removals, but offers no independent proof verifiable outside of his own archives. Objective. The repeated referencing appears aimed at showing a perceived targeting of himself by well-connected figures, including Hoffman. Summary. David Shurter mentions Gabe Hoffman frequently, positioning him as a central figure in what Shurter claims is a coordinated campaign involving threats and censorship. These mentions are accusatory and persistent, focused on illustrating perceived power dynamics and conspiracies. However, the only source for these claims is Shurter himself via his blog and live stream visuals. They lack corroboration from external or Hoffman-authored sources. Would you like me to obtain and analyze the specific screenshots or videos Shurter references, such as the email or YouTube notice, or explore whether any third-party verification or rebuttal exists? And, I guess we can just go on and on and on and on. I think I will put that in there, but the main point is, okay, and is that Shurter has within the last couple of days really zoned in on Gabe Hoffman, saying that Gabe Hoffman is accusing him, and then of course he throws Gabe Hoffman with me and Daniel Dowd and Thomas Schoenberg. I mean everybody, okay, and Lucian Greaves, Satanist, and then he accuses all of us of doing some really horrific crimes. And so where was that thing? Let me go to the top here. You know what? I'm gonna take just a tiny break for a second and play my theme song. I just want to take a little break. Before a little transition, that was kind of intense. I mean, that was concentrated. I felt very focused there. I even forgot to continue eating my taco salad.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control. Spinning wild on the stripper pole, laughing loud all for the lows. But baby, that's not my rabbit hole.
All right. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed my theme song. Yeah, I just kind of felt I didn't play it in the beginning. I was playing some other songs that I created on suno.com. If you do like creating like AI songs or whatever. Oh, now that this is going to be it. I can see this as being a conspiracy now. She gives out her AI creator songs. She must be the person behind all those videos, or it's a network of people and they're giving each other ways to make videos about me. I don't know. I'm just trying to guess what David Shurter's next theory of victimhood is going to be. And sometimes I'm right. Sometimes I can kind of chart what he's going to do next pertaining to me. I can get an instinct of what might be used to fuel David and as a reason to really go hardcore on me in a video. He shifts around. Like one day he'll be really hard on Daniel Dowd, or I guess the last couple of days is Gabe Hoffman, and then when he goes off on one person, or now everybody's attacking his moderator, and the people that are in his chat are being attacked, and not only is it just him. And one thing I do want to mention about David is that today he was mentioning about getting donations, but even though he is getting donations, that he still is going to intend to pay it forward to others. Like he would be using part of his donation to help out others. It wouldn't be just for him now. And he brought in some names of people that were great supporters and that they were struggling too. And now I think he's kind of grifting to take his moderator out to a steak dinner because she deserves it, and he's talking about this dinner that they're going to have. And and how, like, when that they're like, it's not just him taking care of business about the awful people like me who apparently is doing crimes right now while I'm making a taco salad, just living my life, going to college, getting a degree, walking in a new direction, preparing to do a show tonight, which, by the way, I am going to film if all else goes well, and be showing it here on YouTube, an airing of it, of the set, that because I'm headlining the event. And then I'm gonna try the memberships here on YouTube, and if you want to watch that set after I have my little party or whatever, right? The streaming. I don't know. I'm thinking you can get it for like $1.99 or something like that, and that would be a fun way to kind of like help out my channel and support the research and the work that I'm doing in busting these guys like David Shurter has been pushing conspiracies. I mean, this is not my rabbit hole. Like, David Shurter is not my rabbit hole. Like, what he's talking about, that's not my rabbit hole. I think he's a total phony, and if there were ever any shred of truth to what he's talking about, and a lot of the things that Ed Opperman and myself and other people have done our shows on what would be considered, fringe, according to ChatGPT or whatever, alternative networks. I mean, maybe not Ed Opperman. He's kind of in between because he's an actual private investigator. He's a little bit different, right? I've got my degree in journalism now. I'm doing, I'm not. I was in it though, and that's why I know it's fake. I guess you can call me a truth media whistleblower. And like for me, around 2020, I started doing shows that was showing what a liar Captain Mark Richards was. Like that Carrie Cassidy is, going in front of, talking about, like, she can't film it because he's in prison. She can't even take a pen and paper when she goes to speak with him. So she's going to listen to what he says in their interview. And then she just speaks about what he did. And then they go to all these, UFO conferences, and they sell all this money. They make all this money. They grip all this shit. And the guy was like basically committed a crime like Charles Manson did. He got other people to do it. It's a big case up in in Marin County. I mean, this is the level of ridiculous crimes. I mean, like, that's a crime. Like, that is a grift to pretend like he's a secret space program person. That's a grift. David Shurter is the same sort of grift. And a lot of the things that David Shurter says have fallen in that media, have been the underbelly of this. That's what I see that's going on here. That's what I found out. That's why I created a show called Not My Rabbit Hole. And that phrase is used so much. It's almost like you don't want to use it because it's like overused. Going down the rabbit hole. The Matrix, all of it. It's such a clipped word. Like, you'd think, and this is my opinion, that David Shurter could have came up with a title of a book that was more original than that. All right. Hi, Pootie Twang. I think they're all working together as a disinformation internet psyops. They might be. I mean, because, there's definitely an organization behind it. David Shurter repeats certain things that other people have repeated. Like, I don't know how long you've been listening, but yeah, but not one so you've been here a while, but not one litigation against David. No. There's nothing. Like, I just did a deep dive ChatGPT search, and there's absolutely not one shred of evidence of Gabe. Well, look, I was going to recap it. Let's just recap it. Let's see. Yeah, this is it. So I started. Let me get this. Hold on. Okay. Could you please clarify what kind of information you're hoping to find out about Gabe Hoffman? Okay, so I'm looking for discussions, disputes, collaborations, blog entries, and commentary between Gabe Hoffman and David Shurter. So it did a research. It appears there's no record of Gabe Hoffman authoring any blog posts, and this is a deep search, so it went through a lot. News articles of social media content that mentioned David Shurter. However, David Shurter himself has made several public references to Hoffman. The one thing that I want to get here, YouTube reference, this article, mentions of Gabe Hoffman and third-party social media. A thread reader summary from an open secret is a Twitter account recounts that Isaac Cappy allegedly directed anti-Semitic attacks and violent threats at Gabe Hoffman. This includes mention of David Shurter's involvement. So what is this? Okay. Let me just make sure that I have my let me make sure I've got my fair use. All right, so this fair use, and then we're just, this is informative work. We're just sourcing this website right now because as it pertains to the thread. So I found the thread. We did not initiate any disagreement with Isaac Cappy. We posted a thread exposing the okay, you see that trafficking hoax fronted by vegan Mikey about voodoo donuts. We never mentioned Cappy in our first voodoo donuts thread. Cappy saw our thread and began attacking AOS and owner producer Gabe Hoffman. Cappy went on Periscope and literally threatened violence the very next morning against him. Cappy and vegan Mikey almost got a big score out of the voodoo donuts hoax. A terminally ill man on his hospital deathbed pledged $75,000 to Mikey with Cappy as a trustee. We posted a link to the video. It's still on YouTube. Luckily, PayPal shut down Mikey's account before the $75K could be transferred to him. Your friend or relative could be working at Voodoo Donuts. They were getting threatening and harassing phone calls all day because of the hoax Mikey and Cappy were promoting, putting real people, innocent workers, potentially in danger. We posted more threads exposing the Voodoo Donuts hoax. A circular icing swirl is not an FBI symbol. The FBI symbol is a triangle-shaped swirl. We researched at Vegan Mikey and showed that he is a convicted felon on the run from an open arrest warrant for domestic battery in Las Vegas. We posted links to court documents and screenshots at Vegan Mikey, kept claiming he filed police reports in Portland against Voodoo Donuts for what he accused them of. Local press couldn't find any. Mikey wouldn't post a copy. Makes sense that a felon on the run wouldn't go to the police. We posted threads about hashtag VOP, Veterans on Patrol, and their hoax in June, seeking donations of materials and gift cards. In September, Cappy began promoting the hashtag VOP hoax run by felon Louis Arthur. Cappy began using abusive anti-Semitic attacks against AOS and owner-producer Gabe Hoffman. Cappy repeatedly warned about the anti-Semitic attacks and violent threats he made on Twitter and Periscope, but it continued. And here are the this is an Isaac Cappy tweet or replying to, but I see why Gabe Hoffman and him get on so well. Never met a victim they didn't want to attack. You're such a, I'm not going to say that on my channel. I clearly never said that. So here you can see where Isaac Cappy is. But that was like, he's replying to Gabe Hoffman and Seth Green. And this was 10/12/18. Wow, this is kind of like around the time that I did I did the interview with Nathan Stoltman. Okay. After many warnings, Cappy was reported to Twitter and banned from the platform. We do this as a public service. We do not take violent threats or anti-Semitic targeting lightly. We block trolls with ignorant, false accusations, e.g., CIA shill. We make no apologies for that. And that was Twitter. Oh, wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. That's like tweets. View manuscript? What? Update on frauds and grifters since others confirmed what we told you for months. Vegan Mikey, a.k.a. Michael Patrick Whalen, fugitive from justice court warrant for first-degree domestic battery. They've been silent on Twitter. Isaac Cappy, December 13th. Can I click on that? I don't know. Can you see that? Let me see what you guys see. Okay, yeah. Update on frauds and grifters since others confirmed what we told you for months, a.k.a. Michael Patrick Whalen. Fugitive from justice, court warrant for first degree. Here's the David Shurter thing. Okay, so this is a third. This is one of the only connections between David Shurter and Gabe Hoffman at all anywhere that comes up on the internet. This is it. Hold on. Update on frauds and grifters since others confirmed what we told you for months. Vegan Mikey, a.k.a. Michael Patrick Whalen, fugitive from justice, court warrant for first-degree domestic battery. They've been silent on Twitter. Isaac Cappy since December 13th. Mikey, December 10th. According to David Shurter, whom we believe to be mentally ill. Whoa. He claims to have spoken with Fiona Barnett recently. Allegedly, Fiona and Isaac Cappy are on good terms anymore. Cappy is allegedly trashing Fiona after he visited her in person in Australia for months. D. Shurter. Isaac is trashing Fiona now. They tried to set her up, but it failed. And now he's trashing her. This is the BS we are going through. Every time we turn around, it's just another setup. It's so disheartening. Someone sent me his text to them so I could read it. Isaac Cappy appears to be now tweeting from Veritas Durga. Isaac Cappy was suspended from Twitter for making anti-Semitic attacks on Gabe Hoffman. Cappy is not Jewish. What? Okay. Cappy's substitute accounts, Cappy D5. This beautiful song reminds me of following something bigger than my egoic desires in these times of psychological war. Whatever inspires us to do the right thing, priceless. Listen with me. Sadly, David Shurter is both an admitted child blank and physical blank. He is clearly mentally ill. Believes he is being blasted by direct energy weapons in his house. Shurter was used as a prop for clicks and donations by Cappy and Lift the Veil. Huh. Interesting. I'm going to eat a little more of my salad. You're kidding. Now, this is on the open secret site. So still, right, this is what they're saying. Blasting the shit out of me. Same with my sister. Guess the town is mad at what they are doing to me. People keep coming up to me here apologizing. Seems most people don't appreciate their nasty crap. The town is mad and I'm being run out of town. So my city council isn't just harassing me. They're going after others. In fact, they just drove a 63-year-old man to himself. He was found Christmas morning. This town needs another exorcism, and I think I may just be the one God has tapped on the shoulder to facilitate it. Wow. Wow. More salad. They are blasting me. My sis reports, it's so loud. She's being driven crazy, and it's causing intense pain. Funny how Nazi BS has gone from campus to our own homes. More economical, I guess. And no one seems compelled to stop it or even admit it's happening. Sad days we live in. Getting blasted, sick, and they got into her house and left a cigarette butt on the kitchen sink. Sorry. It just sounds so David, you know what I mean? A cigarette butt. And then they ate her peanut butter. All right. They are terrorizing both of us. Video where David Shurter admits to... Video where David Shurter admits to, parentheses, don't want to say it, and a young relative. Despite this, Isaac Cappy and Nathan Stolman lift a veil, use Shurter to draw in clicks and donations. So here's where's the source of this? This is open secret. Some sort of an open secret thread. 5 tweets. This is a Twitter feed. This is on Twitter. So this is what Open Secret said about January 4th, 2019. This is the only piece of evidence of anything where David Shurter is mentioned. And then ChatGPT says it it's a group, it's mentioning him associated to his, obviously his documentary was called Open Secret. But it's not saying that that Gabe Hoffman himself made this post. It's the Twitter account. But it could be anybody. Right? I mean, he was a producer of An Open Secret. He's not. That was something that he brought money to as a project. He's not the person behind it. An Open Secret is its own entity. Matter of fact, we should click on that. We will. I don't know if I can get back though. Hold on. This is a threader thing. Huh. Okay. So let's get down to here again. Where was I? Shit. I knew I was going to do that. I was going to lose my place. Here we are. Right. This is it. Yeah. Video where Shurter admits to doing whatever he did to his relatives. This video was put to private, but it's out there. We've seen it. This is pretty much the end. I think that's it. It's attached to an article about Vegan Mikey and Michael Patrick Whalen, and then it brings commentary. Isaac Cappy, allegedly, he claims to have spoken to Fiona Barr, according to David Shurter. So it's in reference to whom we believe to be mentally ill. I guess they were like not around or something. And then update on frauds and grifters. Since others confirm what we told you for months, Vegan Mikey, aka Michael Patrick Whalen, fugitive from justice, court warrant for first-degree domestic battery. They've been silent on Twitter. Isaac Cappy since December 13th, Mikey. So they've been silent on Twitter in December. According to David Shurter, whom we believe to be mentally ill, he claims to have spoken with Fiona Barnett recently, alleging Fiona and Isaac Cappy aren't on good terms anymore. Cappy is allegedly trusting Fiona, so this was like around that time, I guess. So that would like verify that he was still around, even though he wasn't on Twitter. And then he was suspended off of Twitter. And then David Shurter posts video where David Shurter admits to, and then they put this thing about him. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Like, that's the only connection. Now, one thing that I think might be interesting, I saw this one, it was about, let me see if I can find it. Play some more music. My favorite Isaac Cappy story is how David goes on for months about Isaac being his friend and how they worked together. And now his story is, I really didn't know Isaac Cappy. Huh. Yeah. How well did he know him at all? People like David and Fiona are set up and pushed out there because they're easily discredited, which only hurts victims because people don't believe them. That's true. That's the damage that they're doing. Is like the Open Secret documentary. I mean, I watched it. It's good. I mean, that's about a major director in Hollywood and what has happened. Like, I think that's where it's really at. It's in the modeling agencies and stuff. And so all this other stuff is just, a distraction, a clown show, if you will. Yeah. So let me find that one. Find another article, just a moment. You know what? I guess that's it. I looked at this one thread, and it was also sourced in the ChatGPT. It's the same thing. This about vegan Mikey and the donations, the $75,000 donation that was going to go to vegan with Cappy as a trustee. See, and it was happening through PayPal. And that's where they got the violation, because you can't do a third party. You can't do have a third party entity on a PayPal donation. But then today, David was kind of alluding to like giving some of his donation to some of the other people that might be associated with him on his stream. One being his moderator, and the other one being his bigger supporters like Government Corp and the Smokey. And maybe that's not the same, it's not the same to go, well, you're giving a donate, and then he says, oh, we're going to be bringing more like religious content, more spiritual things. We're not going to be just busting these people for, we're not going to do false accusations about these people. We're also going to be preaching the word of God. And I think that also, just think about that. When you start doing that, and you can go, okay, I have a nonprofit. This is a 501c3, right? I don't have to pay taxes on it. I'm just thinking, it just feels like, and I know that they're like, for example, Antipara Disney, I think on her PayPal, there's some sort of like, she's like some sort of organization, like charity kind of thing, or religious thing. It's a religious thing. And, Sean David Morton kind of, I think that's part of the reason why he got in trouble with the IRS, was that they were shoveling money into quasi spiritual, nonprofits. I'm not saying that that's, obviously David is like, I don't think that organized, but when you are like taking donations, and you're talking awful things about people, and you're spreading conspiracies, you're lowballing in like fringe conspiracy world and associations, and you're saying that so-and-so is attacking me and they're connected to Lucian Greaves, the Satanic Temple, the leader, founder of the Satanic Temple, and you're taking donations. And then when you do your donations, when David does them, it's dire. Like, he can't pay for his blog, and if he doesn't pay for his blog, they're going to come get him, just like they did Tracy Twyman, and all these things. And then they'll be really, really harsh, really, really bad, saying really awful things about people, and punishing people by saying, well, if you don't, you need to do something. You need to donate to me, because I'm the voice, and if you don't care about kids, you better give me money. Kind of like there's a this kind of a manipulation that he does on his show. It's really bad. And then if he's taking donation, like he'll say, I don't have enough money for food, or I spent too much money at Joanne Fabrics, and I spent $50. I only got $25 left to eat. Or, he literally says, it's the end of the month ask, because my bills are coming up. It's the end of the month. It's so he plays in this like place of desperation to get people to donate to his PayPal and to his and his Venmo and support him, because he's he has a limited income. I know you have problems, but apparently his are greater. And then he talks about like how he's going to take his moderator out to dinner, and they want to have a nice steak dinner because he wants to do that for her. That's a soft sell for a donation for their good efforts, right? And then he said today that he is going to pay it forward. And it sounded like, because then he mentioned, how great his moderator is and how Smokey deserves something, and government court guy gets to get something for what he does, and he wants to pay. So he's basically saying it's like the cicada token, right? It's like, we're going to give a percentage to the Ukraine, so refugees. So when you play the game and you win the token, you're actually helping something else, and that's a business paradigm. That's a lot of people like that. If you have a product and then a portion of the proceeds of the money you make goes to a particular charity or something like that, that is like something that people like, and especially I heard Gen Z's like that. Gen Z likes to know that when they buy something, what they're doing is contributing to something outward, right? But here he's talking about giving money to his moderator on YouTube, and a couple of people that show up in his chat and agree with him. And I just feel like it is in some ways reminiscent, at the very least, of what Gabe Hoffman was pointing out, where they were getting 75K sent to their PayPal, and Isaac was going to be the trustee. I mean, it looks like that really happened. I know, like, a lot of people, we want to look at people and what they did and what they talked about and see them as being whistleblowers and being courageous. But people are not perfect. Maybe there was something wrong. I think most of the consensus is that Vegan Mikey was on the hustle. And I don't know. I that's just, anyway, I hope you really enjoyed kind of having fun on ChatGPT and doing a deep research on whether or not Gabe Hoffman ever wrote anything about David Shurter. And anyways, I'm going to go. Hope you guys have a great day. I kind of got to get started on my show tonight. You know who she got in trouble and had their charity investigated was David's arch enemy, Noreen Gosh. Oh, I didn't know that. David is a cult leader. He acts like a cult leader. He gives a lot of spirituality, a lot of woo. He acts like he has a lot of knowledge, esoteric knowledge, because of his work with Michael Aquino, which is dark, but at the same time he talks about God, and he's doing God's work. Heaven has given him this the authority to go after people and grab their souls into the dark or something. It's just like he's talking things about he's magical, he's a shaman, he's special. And I find that a lot of people that are on this hustle, they go there. They go into that realm, that is as part of the grift or the hook. The conspiracy runs deep. Yeah. David's blog costs exactly the same as his property taxes. Oh, really? $350? You can take David's story and compare it to the known dates and locations of Michael Aquino, and guess what? David wasn't there. Yeah. Oh, I totally believe that would be true. I mean, even if just in probability now, because like I just read about how like everything that he said about Gabe Hoffman never happened. Like even in that post about David Shurter from an open secret, which is still like, you can't confirm that was Gabe Hoffman writing about it, is still like third party oriented. So Gabe Hoffman himself hasn't even acknowledged David Shurter ever, anywhere, on any platform, ever. And yet the last couple of days he's felt, So why would his claims of being with, Michael Aquino during that time period have not match up? It stands to reason that it wouldn't. Everything he's I don't think there's one thing that he's saying that it has any honesty to it. I mean, except maybe what he did to his nephews. He's no different than Sherry Shriner. Yeah. People like David and Fiona are set up and pushed out there because they're easily discredited, which only, yeah, I read that one already. Yeah, that's true. They're easily discredited, and then they become the face of the phony, the face of the grift, the face of the conspiracy. And then when they see that, people get turned off to the possibility of any of that even really being true at all. And I've always said, I've said that just the same thing as you, Pootie, since the beginning. I go, I've called them Judas goats because, they're the goat that's ringing the bell, that's signaling for all the other, goats to follow them so that they can be slaughtered. So they have the bell going, and then all the people that maybe really has a true story or is talking about what's really happening gets also discredited because they came out when they did, how they did, saying the things that they did, and acknowledging themselves with certain movements that became a negative. It also has a negative connotation or a belief that it's not true. It's sad. It's really sad. It's really bad. It's really awful what he's done, David Shurter, and continues to do, like, right now. Yeah. Anyway, I should probably go. Thank you for being, Pootie, for being here and being in my chat and kind of, experiencing this with me and looking at stuff, because I think David Shurter should actually be exposed for what he's been doing to people. I think like a lot of us should just be out in the open and talked about how it happens. It's what they've been doing, and how it really needs to be stopped. What are the ways in stopping him from harm? He's harming people. He's harming people with the words that he's saying on the internet. Technically, he's putting danger on them by saying that they're guilty of these things, and who knows who might be listening to them. He potentially is damaging somebody's livelihood, their ability to make money, their ability to get hired, because he's smearing their name publicly and saying different versions of their name, like mine. Like he'll go through, Tere Joyce Randolph, Teresa Randolph, every combination of how I can be identified. He's used it publicly. And I think that is absolutely intentional. And so, I don't think he's somebody who, like, you should just go, oh, we'll just ignore him. Who cares what this person is saying? Because, well, the thing of it is it's not just about me. It's about him, and it's about that he's connected to a lot of other people and a lot of things, right? I mean, and unfortunately, and I'll just say it one more time, is like just a few days ago, Nathan Stoltman has backed him, is still endorsing David Shurter. And what's interesting is in that ChatGPT thing and summary that I was bringing up, there was some donation stuff going on there. There was a money draw within, like, Lift the Veil's support of David Shurter. And you know, of course, it was written on that open secret site, so you know, it's coming through that filter, right? I mean, like, you know, you're talking about like where's the source of the information, but it was just kind of interesting that it was there. And the fact that he is still endorsing him today, and giving David fodder to tell people that I was never interviewed by him, by agreeing and lying and in confirmation, allowing and further feeling more abuse towards me online. That's how I see it. That's how I see it right now. So I'm just being honest. I know like a lot of people, you know, like him and, you know, whatever. And, you know, I want to like him too, but he's not being honest. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem when people aren't honest. And there's people being harmed because somebody isn't being honest. And on that note, I will say farewell.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole.